Greetings, this is Dyslexy from the Arma community group Shack Tactical. In cooperation with Bohemian Interactive, I'm creating a series of videos to explain some of the basics of Arma 3. I'll be using the Arma 3 Alpha as my backdrop to this. In this first video, we'll look at what exactly Arma 3 and the series in general is all about. Specifically, I'd like to focus on the things that make this a truly unique series in the PC gaming world. The Arma series, including the original Operation Flashpoint, which was later renamed to Arma Cold War Assault, has been evolving continuously for over 11 years. At its core, Arma is a military sandbox experience. It's basically the Minecraft of military sim games. Or Armymen, if you will. Keep in mind that the Arma 3 Alpha is oriented towards focusing on the infantry feature set of the game, but the possibilities extend well beyond that. Arma allows you to participate in simulated combat at all levels. You can choose to be an infantryman, drive a car or a tank, fly a helicopter, a jet, drive a boat, jump out of a plane, act as a forward observer or a sniper. If it's possible in the real world, you can probably do it in Arma. Now, with that being said, Arma is not a hardcore simulation of every platform involved in modern and future combat like you see in a focus sim. Instead, it's a combined arms game, which provides the opportunity to participate at all levels of combat, with accessibility and authenticity as the guiding principles. If there's something you haven't seen done in the extensive content library of the core game, the rich and active modding community will likely deliver it. This is another key point. Looking at the current lineup of military shooters, you're hard-pressed to find one that supports or even allows for modding. For Arma, it's a keystone of the feature set, and the symbiotic relationship between the developer and their modding community is one of the strongest allures to a long-term investment in the series. I've been playing this game since the first edition came out back in 2001, and every year brings improvements and evolutions that continue to keep it firmly entrenched in its position of being my all-time favorite platform, bar none. Let's contrast Arma with some of the typical wargame experiences available today. Let's talk about terrains, or maps as they're frequently called. This right here, you might see something this size in your typical console-ported shoebox FPS these days. But panning back, it's just a tiny slice of the small island of Stratus. This whole island is about 20 square kilometers. The main terrain of the game, by comparison, is about 270 square kilometers. The hills, the forest, the background, it's not a backdrop, it's as real as anything else in the game. If you want to have a firefight over there, there's nothing stopping you. There's no invisible walls, no encouragements to get back in the fight because you're leaving the boundaries. This entire island is a canvas. Bohemia paints their pictures through the single player and multiplayer content, but they give all of us the tools to imagine it however we see fit. It's a living world with real-time day-night cycles, clouds, tides, an accurate starscape which can even be used to navigate in a pinch, rain, fog, lightning, wind, waves. Altering the conditions alone can have a huge impact on any given scenario. What if a battle was at night instead of the day? What if you didn't have night vision? What if it was storming? This is the core of the experience for me, the very definition of a sandbox game. You can choose exactly how you want to experience it. Whether it's single player or multiplayer, every facet is configurable to deliver exactly what you're interested in. This is not a game designed around forcing you to grind your way through different gear levels or perks or anything of the sort. You don't need to unlock weapons, you're not limited to just the game types or maps that came with it. This is how PC games should be. If you want to create a mission that's exclusively about fighting it out in jets, Top Gun style, there's nothing stopping you. You want a huge tank fight? Go for it. You're not going to have to buy a whole new DLC just to have a chance to fight in close quarters maps or use armored vehicles more. It's entirely in your hands as to what the experience becomes. And thanks to the modding community, the possibilities are continually broadened and refined. The Arma community is vast. Whether you want full-on military simulation or a more relaxed environment, or maybe you just want to jump in and get playing, there's a group or a server out there for you. In my community, we play regularly in sessions of over 100 players, and Arma's built-in mission editor allows us to create our own custom missions created for just how we want to play. The editor's ease of use and the presence of a scripting language means that with a little practice, the creativity of your missions are only limited by your imagination. There are servers out there that run persistent missions that take place over days and days, allowing people to hop in, play, and hop out at their leisure. DayZ, the zombie survival game, started as an Arma 2 mod, before turning into a standalone game. It's a perfect example of the design your own experience nature of the platform. Arma 3's core strength lies in the superb authenticity of the infantry experience. This is not a game where you get a medal for making a shot at 100 meters. If you want to impress someone, try 10 times that distance. Similarly, in Arma, how you cooperate with other players means a lot more than usual. When you're playing with a full platoon of over 40 players against hundreds of intelligent enemy AI, the word teamwork gains a whole new meaning. Calling in an airstrike and having a human player respond, supporting his friends on the ground, is a sublime experience from any perspective. That same sandbox nature that lets you create huge missions with hundreds of enemies also lets you draw inspiration from military history, current events, or just something you find interesting, and recreate it virtually. It allows you to experience those events as a participant, to gain a perspective of what happened, or what might have happened if things had been different. It's a perspective that books, movies, and more rail-oriented Hollywood shooters simply can't provide. Whether it's Vietnam, Mogadishu, Iraq, Afghanistan, Cold War gone hot, World War II, or III for that matter. Once the mod community has a crack at it, you'll be able to do all that and more. Arma 3 is about choosing or even crafting the experience that you want. It's a platform of incredible depth and potential thanks to a developer that stands firm as one of the few in the FPS realm to offer robust and meaningful mod support, in an age when most companies are too worried about how mods are going to hurt their DLC sales and bottom line. Arma 3 is a no-compromise PC game at heart. It's as close as you can get to the full spectrum of combined arms warfare without getting dirty or getting dead. If you ask me, Arma 3 is the ultimate military sandbox. All you have to ask yourself is, what do you want to do with it? For more community guide videos, be sure to subscribe to the official Arma 3 YouTube channel. For other Arma 3 updates, keep track of the official website, Facebook, and Twitter pages. If you'd like more in-depth tutorial and large-scale multiplayer gameplay of Arma 3 and the previous Arma games, I'd also recommend you check out my personal channel here. This is Dyslexy, and I'll see you on Stratus.